guys, today I'm going to be reviewing this album, Gold by Jasmine. This album came out in 2010 and it sold only about 50,000 copies, but for a debut album I thought that was alright. Not amazing, but I thought it was a bit better than average also. So the way I found out about Jasmine was through YouTube, and I don't really remember exactly how, but it was 2009 when her first single came out, Sad to Say. I can't remember if I found it through Sony Music Japan because that's her label and I follow them on YouTube, or because she was being compared a lot to Utada Hikaru and her video came up in related videos to Utada. Her first single, like I said, Sad to Say, debuted at #1 on Chaku Uta. Since she had such a breakout success with her first single, people were comparing her to Utada Hikaru and saying on TV shows that she was like the second coming of Utada. She also has some other similarities to Utada, like she hosts a radio show, she speaks some English. She also cites Utada Hikaru as one of her influences, and I think there are some similarities between their musical style. The influence is definitely apparent in this album. So this is the album. It's gold, as you can see. I really like this album art on the outside, but as we open it, I'm not as much a fan of it. This is the 2-disc edition, as you can see. It's the album and a music video compilation. It's only 5 clips. It comes with a booklet that's basically these pictures, like the gold mask pictures, and I don't really like them. I find them to be a bit creepy. Jasmine's singles were all released with color themes, and the photography for them was kind of nice, so I kind of wish they just included similar photos from the single photo shoots as the album art for it. I also don't like how this is a paper case. Paper cases always annoy me, even though like all my plastic cases are broken. I just like having plastic more, it's a bit more durable. The first track is Pride. The major overlying theme of this album is finding yourself and learning to love yourself and following your dreams. There's a brief intro to the song that I don't really like. It's basically just street sound effects, but once we get into the actual song, I really enjoy it. This song kind of reminds me of like the music in Rocky. It's kind of like Jasmine's Rocky theme. For this song, I really like the lyrics and the instrumentals, and that goes for a lot of the songs on this album. Overall, this is a really good introduction to the album. I really like the piano melody in this too. A lot of her songs heavily rely on piano melodies, and that's another similarity to Utada Hikaru that I really like. Oh, I love this part. She's singing I was born in the Heisei, the first year of the Heisei. I just thought that was so unique, and I've never heard someone talking about the eras in Japan and J-pop. Song number 2 is Sad to Say, the single that I already mentioned. It was Jasmine's debut single. This is probably my favorite song on the album, and I'm not sure if it's for nostalgia reasons or because it's actually the best song, but it's another song with a great piano melody, and her voice is just stunning. She also sings Come Back to Me in this song, just like Utada Hikaru's song. Oh yeah, she also swears in English a lot in her songs, and if you have a problem with that, I don't recommend this album. I personally never even noticed the swearing in it until I recommended this artist on the Utada Net forums, and people hated her because she said the F word 2 times, and she says hell and damn and bitch and stuff like that. So I seriously did not even notice it. I'm just desensitized, I guess, but maybe if you're a child, don't listen to this album. So the video for this song, Sad to Say, is a little bit boring, but it's not terrible. It's definitely like a debut video. It's not like mind-blowing. It's kind of very standard. Track 3 is Lips. So this is kind of a funny and cute song. It's not like a super serious song. There's a lot of English in the song and it's not very good, but at the same time I find it kind of endearing, like all the minor mistakes that she makes. I don't know why, it just seems to suit her, especially in this song. I think it's so cute how she compares her lover to like different types of food in the song, like kimchi and cherries and stuff. I don't know, I really like this song. It's like got a funky beat and it's just fun to listen to. I really like at the end how she spells out her name too. I thought that helped tie the song into the overall theme of this album. Track 4 is Jealous. Lights. I love this song. I think this is probably my second favorite song. I remember when the single came out, I was obsessed. I listened to the song over and over. So Jasmine, when her first single debuted, she released several singles, I think it was 5, over the course of the year before her album dropped, and I think that helped build up hype in a way, but it also took a little bit too long. There's just a bit of too much of a gap between the first single and the album drop. So the color theme for this single is purple, and it is so beautiful. You guys really need to watch the video for this song. It's a samurai theme, and she's wearing this huge kimono in the video. I always love kimono in music videos. Like, oh my gosh, it is so beautiful. Yeah, I just love everything about this. Her voice and the instrumentals are stunning. Definitely check the song out. Track number 5 is Bad Girl, and this is one of the main songs about her finding herself and learning to love herself, even though she felt like she didn't fit in. I actually haven't been able to find an English translation of the lyrics to the song, so I can kind of just get the gist of the meaning. There's a bit of English, and that always helps you to understand a J-pop song. I really like the lyrics in this song. If I were born again, I'd want to be me. To me, that stands out the most in this song. Overall, in the album, this song isn't among the best, I don't think, but that's not to say it's a bad song. This song's probably the most rock on this album as well, so I find it's just kind of in the middle of the road on this album. Track 6 is Dear My Friend. This is also one of my favorite songs. I couldn't believe that this wasn't a single. This would have been such a good single. This is a song that Jasmine has written to her friends. Oh, and by the way, Jasmine co-writes all of her songs, which is usually a good sign that it's going to be a good album, right? I really just love how simplistic this song is, but it's also heartfelt, and like every song on this album, almost, the vocals and the instrumentals are just beautiful. Track 7 is an interlude called Stage. I really dislike this track. Thankfully it's not a huge track. It's just sounds very low production, and I don't like the fake like tiger sound effects in it. I just think they're really poorly done. And she's speaking English in this part. I'm not sure why, but it's not horrendous. It's just like a little bit weird. So the interlude leads into the next track, which is This Is Not a Game. This was also a single, and I remember when it came out I really liked it as well. But now that I listen to it, I find that this song is actually lacking a bit in substance. It's still a very listenable song, and I pretty much never skip it when I listen to this album, but I just feel like this song has the least amount of emotional meaning in it, and the instrumentals aren't my favorite either. Also, the video for the song is really weird, and it's not my favorite. The next song is called Clubbin'. This particular song is my least favorite on the album. I do tend to skip it like halfway through the song. I just find the instrumentals to be a bit irritating, and her voice isn't as enjoyable as the other song. She's singing kind of this more staccato style, and I don't know, I just think it's weird. It's kind of a filler track. I also couldn't find a lyric translation for this song, so if you know of any, please link it to me. The next song is called Koi. It's the only Japanese title on this album, and koi, if you didn't know, is like a term of endearment. It's like a pet name, or what you would call like your lover or something. The song isn't about the fish. I so love this song. This was a B-side on one of the singles, I believe, so I was happy that it was included on the album. It has this very heavy bass, which I really love. The percussion is also this light, like clapping type of sound, and I just think the two work together really well. Her voice is beautiful. I just love the melody that she's singing in. She's really showing off her range in a couple parts of this song. Track 11 is What You Want. This is a moody, sultry type of slow song. I really like this song, but it's not among my top 3 or 4, but it does stand out on this album as having a particular mood and instrumental effect. This song definitely has an early Utada influence on it. It definitely reminds me of the Distance album, and she even says time limit in it, so Yes, so obvious. If that's not a shout out, I don't know what would be. The next track is No More. This was also a single. The singles following her first kind of weren't as popular as Sad to Say. A few of them were limited release, and I think that really hurt the hype for this album. I like this song, but it's very similar to Sad to Say. The instrumentals are very similar, and it's even kind of the same theme, so the songs sometimes can be almost indistinguishable. The video for this is probably a little bit more interesting than the Sad to Say video though, and I'm pretty sure Utada is in the video. I asked the people on Utada.net when this came out if they thought it was her, and they pretty much jumped down my throat saying that I was an idiot for thinking that it was her. But it seriously looks exactly like her in the video. That all being said, I still like the song. Her voice sounds really good, so it's not a bad song. I just wish that maybe they had included maybe like a remix or something on the album, or a different version than what the single was, to kind of differentiate it from Sad to Say. Track 13 is Dreamin. This is the one true ballad on this album, and it was a single. The color theme for the single was white. It's a beautiful song with a beautiful but boring video. Jasmine really shows off her vocal range in this song. This is another Believe in Yourself song, and it's kind of wrapping up the theme for this album. I like the song. I don't really ever skip it, but it's also my least favorite single that was released from this album. Also, her voice tends to sound a bit nasal in this song. I'm not really sure why. I think it is just her voice, because I've heard her perform it live too, and it sounds pretty much the same. That's another thing I like about Jasmine, is her voice is pretty much unedited on her albums. When she performs live, it sounds the same as the album versions. But she's definitely not lip syncing. Like, you can tell she's not lip syncing. Okay, so the last song on this album is Why. I love this song also. I think this would have been a pretty good B-side to a single. I think this was a good closer for the album because it's fairly mellow, but not like falling asleep type of mellow, and it's not a ballad either. It's just kind of like chill, relaxed type of song, and her vocals are really great in this song. I'd say some of the best vocals are in this song. She hits this really high note and sustains it for a long time, and I want to believe that wasn't digitally assisted, that she actually can sustain that note. She also utilizes a lot of scales in the song, and they're just beautiful. Like, her voice was made to sing songs like this. This is another song with a fairly simplistic beat and instrumentals, but it just works so well together. Overall, the album has very good production value for like 90% of it. She is signed to Sony, so that's a pretty big record label. So that has been the album Gold by Jasmine. I think that you may not have heard of her before if this is your first time hearing about her, because she hasn't really been promoted enough by her label, Sony. I also think that her singles were released too far apart. I wish they had kept up the hype that her first single created by releasing the next one right after. I think another reason is that her second album came 3 years later. Her second album was just released last month. So it's been a long time coming, and I don't think that you should leave people hanging like that. Like, if you have fans, you should, you know, give them something. Like, she did release a single, and then it was like another year before we heard another single, so that's pretty crazy. This album is classified as R&B. I would say it's a bit closer to pop with an R&B tone in some of the songs. There's a good mix in there though. I really like this album still to this day, so I definitely recommend it. My favorite songs are Sad to Say, Jealous, Why, Koi, and I really like Dear My Friend too. And like I said, my least favorite is Clubbin' and the interlude. I hope that if you've never heard this album before or anything by Jasmine, that I have at least sparked your interest in her. Please support the artist if you do like her music. If you have heard any of her songs or the album, please let me know what you thought of it below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!